Iowa legislators are working on a bill that will require students to take mandatory financial aid classes.
And later, a robotics team has been making a special donation to the Children's Hospital. Stay tuned to find out more.
Iowa basketball head coach Fran McCaffrey slamming his clipboard.
Find out why and more coming up in sports.
We had some wild snowstorms this last week. I'll recap those and showcase what's ahead, coming up in weather.
All that and more coming up on this Friday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Jacob Gunther.
And I'm Sydney Zatz.
Iowa legislators are filing a bill that will require public schools to teach students how to responsibly manage money. The Iowa Senate has proposed a bill like this before, but State Senator Jeff Danielson said this new proposed bill differs from past proposed bills because it requires 1/2 unit of a financial literacy course, beginning with the freshman class of 2020 and 2023. Danielson said, quote, "I think schools will be supportive. Those who helped craft the original bill were actually teachers who were elected as senators and representatives. So they're aware of what that means for the classroom. We see it as a positive win-win," end quote. To read more information on this bill, go to dailyiowan.com.
A small school in rural Illinois has been making special donations to the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. The robotics club at Riverdale High School has been raising money for Lego sets for the U.S. Family Children's Hospital, and the team raises money from the beginning of the year until their first meet. The Riverdale community would pledge money to the robotics team based on how they did at the meet. And over the last 3 years, the robotics team has raised more than $6,000 to buy 240 Lego sets. The reason the team chose to do Legos was because it can occupy a good amount of time, and for children that have to be at the hospital for long periods of time, they can have some fun while they're there.
The University of Iowa's Burge Marketplace will be getting some major renovations in the next few years. There are current plans to renovate every food station, as well as the ceiling, columns, and front entrance of the marketplace. So far, the marketplace has not been bid on, so the budget is yet to be determined. Burge hasn't had a significant renovation in 15 years. The complete renovation plans could take as long as 10 years to complete due to necessary projects in other areas. And Sydney, that is extraordinary. I have not been in Burge Hall for a while now, and I'm just excited to see that it's finally getting, fixed up a little bit.
I just hope the renovations are not compromising the heating system, especially in this weather. I don't know if we're going to see any warmer temps, but don't take my word for it. We have Dylan in the weather studio who can fill us in. Dylan?
Thanks, Jacob and Sydney. Yes, we had some of our coldest temperatures this last week and more to come. Although, as we look back into this last week, we did have some snowstorms coming through Iowa City, leaving lots of snow on the ground, and some very slippery conditions here even on the sidewalk. I even saw some people, definitely not myself, slip right on the ice and fall on their backside. Now today locally we have a temperature of -2 degrees this morning, partly cloudy skies though. Now as we move into tonight's forecast, our temperature increases a little bit as we have a temperature of 1 degree and cloudy skies. Now as we move into our extended 5-day forecast for the week, as I said, we have a small chance of snow tonight with our low of -7. As we move into Saturday, we have a 20% chance of snow showers with our high of around 14 degrees and our low in the single digits at 4 degrees and partly cloudy skies. Sunday, we have partly cloudy skies again with our high at around 11 degrees and our low in the mid-single digits at 5 degrees. Finally, Monday could be the coldest temperature we have so far. We have our low of -6 degrees and our high at 20 with a 50% chance of snow showers, so that -6 will feel like maybe even -20. Now finally on Tuesday, we have partly cloudy skies and no snowstorms. However, we have 17-mile-per-hour winds and a high of 1 degree and a low of -16. So our coldest temperatures of the year coming next Tuesday, it looks like. Well, looks like we take a little break from the snow for this weekend, but the wind and the rest of the snow showers will definitely pick up, so be on the alert for that, and also the frigid temperatures coming in on the backside of the weekend. Now, Jacob and Sydney, back to you guys at the desk.
Local art lovers are on a mission to make Iowa City a more beautiful place. DITV arts and culture reporter Kaylin Cluck is here to fill us in on the new strategies for increasing art in public places. Kaylin?
Yes, right now there's a greater push going on to bring more murals, sculptures, and creativity to the Iowa City public eye. But in order to do that, there needs to be increased funding in the city budget. I spoke to one local artist who's working to make this a reality. Take a look.
In the height of winter, Iowa City might be currently covered in snow, but a local committee is hoping to cover the town in art year-round. Now more than ever, local artists are pushing for more funding for public art. Since the 90s, its budget has gone drastically down.
At that time, the operating budget for public art initiatives at the city level was about 500% what our current budget is as a committee.
Vera Rose Smith is a chairperson on the Public Arts Advisory Committee. The group oversees proposals for adding art to downtown and helps vet the designs. In 2018, the city budget for public art maintenance allotted $25,000. The committee hopes to increase that amount to potentially $100,000 by taking a percentage of revenue tax from the new hotels that have been popping up around town.
That's a recent development in other cities in our state, and we were wondering why not here.
So now the committee is currently drafting a proposal to present to City Council for more funding. They hope to use it towards public art beyond downtown.
So that there is more neighborhood involvement, there's more art placed outside of commercial corridors and in communities within our larger community.
The University of Iowa is also making strides in supporting public art. They recently announced a new Grant Wood residency specific to the area. A week-long course will be held over spring break for accepted undergrad and graduate students on how to gain professional entry into Public Art Commission. Rose Smith will be an instructor.
And at the end of the week, the hope is that you have a sample proposal for a mural project that then you could shop to a local community.
Public art could eventually have its own tract at the University of Iowa Studio Arts program, similar to painting and drawing. But the big picture, or rather mural, is that the public spaces of Iowa City will be more vibrant in the months and years to come.
Now, Rose Smith said this committee is still in the process of figuring out what specific projects could be created with increased funding in the annual city budget. However, she did tell me that their current project is creating an abstract tree-like sculpture for the walls of City Hall, and that'll light up across the LED spectrum. So it'll be something to check out when it's installed in March. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Kaylin. Netflix announced last week that it would be raising its prices on all of its streaming plans. The standard HD streaming plan was raised from $10.99 to $12.99. And the Iowa City Public Library offers a movie streaming service for people who live in Johnson County, and if they have an Iowa City Public Library card. The service is called Canopy. Canopy is a streaming service that focuses specifically on independent cinema, documentaries, classic and early films. There are over 30,000 films on Canopy, and Iowa City Public Library cardholders can stream 10 films a month using their service. For more information, go to dailyiowan.com. And Jacob, I must say I do use my sister's Netflix password, but let's not tell her that. But you can't stream Iowa sports on any streaming service.
No, you can. I was unfortunately not at the game against Michigan State. Wish I was. But we have John and Zach in the sports studio to tell us everything that you might have missed. John and Zach.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of watching the game on my TV, so I can hear the atmosphere with the crowd, throughout the whole game. So, yeah, but last night the Hawks took on number 6 Michigan State at home, and well, it wasn't a fun one for Iowa.
No, it didn't start that way, though. With the shot clock expiring, Luka Garza missed this long jumper, but Tyler Cook comes in for the offensive rebound and gets the bucket.
Later in the half, Garza went inside past 2 defenders for the layup.
Iowa went into the half up by 4, thanks in part to this assist from Connor McCaffrey to Jordan Bohannon, who drains the 3.
But the second half was a different story. Michigan State point guard Cassius Winston shows us why he is a Player of the Year candidate with this 3.
And it was all Sparty from the second half as Michigan State finished this game on a 40-17 run. The Hawks fell in this one 82-67, which moves them to 16-4 on the year.
They kind of set a standard for themselves, a reputation for how physical they are, and you know, you kind of understand what you're getting into when you're playing Michigan State, and so you know, they just won that battle tonight.
We weren't really scoring the ball. As good as we looked on the defensive end in the first half, we really didn't shoot the ball that well, and that was thanks to how good we were playing on defense for the first half for us to have a lead going into the second half. So. We just didn't do it in the second half, and we had games like that already, so we just have to learn from it. As much as I hate saying it, but we just have to learn from it.
There were a lot of good things that happened for our team tonight, and you can't lose sight of that because you get beat. There was a stretch in the game where it got away from us. It's unfortunate. We really had some clean looks there. You know, like I said, we were throwing the ball inside to get to the free throw line, just to you know, stop the game and slow it down a little bit, and so that's unfortunate.
Now, a big reason for Michigan State's victory was their ability to get to the free throw line.
And also Iowa's inability to get to the free throw line. DITV sports reporter Declan Levy has more.
The free throw line isn't nicknamed the charity stripe for no reason. Averaging nearly 24 attempts per game, it has become a staple to the Hawkeye offense. However, last night, the 6th-ranked team in the nation was not going to hand out free points. Was a lack of aggression down low the problem for not getting to the line?
Our game plan was to throw the ball inside, and we did. Many times. Threw it in there a lot.
So you guys were aggressive enough?
Phenomenally aggressive. The most aggressive we've been all year long. Tonight, throwing the ball inside.
Iowa came into tonight's game leading the nation in free throw attempts. Michigan State shot 21 to Iowa's 8.
I don't know. I mean, we were getting it in there. We were being physical inside. You know, sometimes the ref doesn't blow the whistle. You know, sometimes they do. You know, it's different. I feel we were just as aggressive. I think, you know, we weren't getting downhill enough on our drives. You know, especially like the wings and the guards, to be able to draw more fouls on their guards.
It's a quick turnaround, but Iowa must stick to their aggressive game plan come Sunday when they travel to Minnesota. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, Declan Levy, DITV Sports.
Well, Zach, I have a feeling Fran McCaffrey's face at the end of that clip looked much like my dad's during the second half of that game.
I don't think I want to meet your dad at all. He sounds like a really scary guy. But
well, in other basketball news, the Iowa women's basketball team had some impressive numbers in their top 20 showdown with Rutgers on Wednesday night.
Yeah, John, I was at Carver for that matchup, and one thing I noticed that wasn't on the stat sheet was Iowa's toughness throughout the entire game.
Megan Gustafson displayed a lot of muscle as she battled under the basket all night and was able to pick up a few fouls along the way. Former Iowa's women's coach and Rutgers head coach C. Vivian Stringer gave high praise to the superstar.
They work with precision. They understand, you know, how to hit the big girl, and she's the best that I've seen. She's truly the best center in the country, bar none.
You know, our guards have done such a great job being able to really handle that pressure defense. You know, Kathleen did a phenomenal job handling the ball, making other plays, you know, setting me up, setting my other, you know, teammates up for different things.
When you play against such an aggressive team like that, if you are aggressive back and attack the basket, it's really hard for them to keep you in front, and then it turns into fouls. So I think we did a good job of making sure we really attack that pressure defense.
Even with an aggressive defense, Rutgers couldn't contain Iowa's high-powered offense as the Hawks came away with the win.
That's all we have for you in the sports studio. Jacob and Sydney, back to you.
Thank you guys for joining us here at DITV. This has been Jacob Gunther.
And I'm Sydney Zatz. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here next week.